Round 18 review for a massive round of AFL football. Sorry for last week, couldn't make it. Some family things we had to take care of. Unfortunately, we do love you very, very much. Sometimes family, they don't get in the way, but they unfortunately sometimes mean that we can't roll the podcast out. So that was all on me, but we're back and we're badder than ever. I've got the great man. You know him as well as I do. He is the former 9th ranked Ironman in the world for his age group. I know him as Jamie Wallace, but you know him as the Jdog, and we're wrapped to have him back for a massive chat about some massive games that happened over the weekend, which was round 18. How are you, champion? Good to see you, my friend. Mate, you've gone blank. We can't even hear you. Want to get yourself off mute? You've gone all pixelated. Good start. Good start. He's gone mute. No, he's there. You're no, can't even hear you, Jdog. Cannot even hear you. That's better. That's better. It's called the mute button. I'm gonna have to edit this now. Unbelievable. How you going, champ?
I'm well, Peps. I'm well. How are you?
Good. Big week last week. Lots to talk about. Big life change. For myself, which I'm really looking forward to, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. But football-wise, funny enough, the week before was a really boring round. You'd have to say most of the top teams won. I think there might have been one out of the 9 games that wasn't. But this weekend, tell you what, I've actually felt so. I'm actually going to let everybody know. I'm going to say something tonight I never thought I'd say. In the history of the 8 years that this podcast has been going, I don't think I've ever said this. And it is going to shock a few people when I say it. Got a lot to talk about too. The AFL. They've done me, Jamie. I've got to let it go. I've got to get it off my chest. I just have to get it off my chest big time tonight. But we're going to get into the ladder. We're going to get all the good stuff out of the way. Then I want to hear your opinion. Everybody joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Great to have you on board. More importantly, jump on the chat, be part of the show. Rightio. Let's get into it. First and foremost, big boy, ladder for the week. Collingwood and Gold Coast. What a game that was last Friday night. Oh, it was awesome. I don't know what the best part about it was. The start of the game, the end of the game, the fact that Collingwood lost. I don't know, but it was a cracking game of football. But they're still on top, 6 points clear of the Brisbane Lions, who did a job on Carlton. You had the Adelaide Crows, who I would say caused a bit of an upset. I thought that they would actually take the chocolates on their game this weekend, and they didn't. Definitely surprised the doggies. They're sitting on 48 and sitting nice and clear in third position. Geelong on 44. Have a look at this. Geelong on 44. Gold Coast on 44. But remember, they still have a game in hand. Hawthorn on 44. GWS on 44. Fremantle on 44. And then you got the doggies sitting on 40. So that's, I'd say, the top 9 are locked in. Rightio. Sydney Swans, 32. Port Adelaide, 32. Great win by the Swans over St Kilda. Came back after a really shocking first quarter. Your mob, Port Adelaide, got the win. Carl Tank, Melbourne, I was there. I'll give you a little bit of an insight on what I saw at that game. Essendon, those 3 teams sitting on 24 points. St Kilda on 20. They really had Sydney on toast, but Sydney just came to the forefront. We've got North Melbourne on 18. Richmond on 16. Their 4th win for the year, and what a win it was. And last but not least, on 4 points and 64.2%, we're talking about the Wet Toast Eagles, my friend. Thoughts, feelings, what do you reckon right now? Is the 8 locked in? I say it every week, and I don't think we ever come up with the same consensus, but it's only down to 9 teams. The doggies are out of it. They should have won it on the weekend, and they left themselves with a bit of work to do.
The 8 is not locked in.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going any further than 9.
Yeah.
We've dropped a couple of teams away, but that's it now. The 9 is the 9.
Sydney literally have to win almost every game from now on. I know they're only 2 games out. I just don't think that they're 3 games out. No, they're 3 games out. Not going to do it. Fremantle, great win on the weekend. That was a belter of a game. We're going to get into the results very, very shortly. But it's amazing, isn't it? Like, I reckon 2 weeks ago I said, watch out for the doggies. They are humming along. And it just means, you have one bad game and it can potentially mess up your entire season. It just goes to show wins are really valuable at the start of the season. They're even more valuable. Actually, I reckon wins are more valuable at the start than the end. You want to be solidifying your spot, not trying to chase your tail and hope for other teams to lose for you to come in. Yeah, massive round of footy. But yeah, and it's pretty much worked out that West Coast are going to get the number 1 draft pick again. You think they'll pick anyone from Melbourne this year? Victoria, I mean?
Yeah, they've locked up. They have locked up number 1 slot.
Locked up number 1 slot. Easy. Love it. Rightio. Let's get into the results and have a quick look at this. Rightio. Carlton and Brisbane. Carlton do Carlton things and Brisbane do Brisbane things. They just did what they had to do. There's not really much you could say about that game. I actually think I was watching this and I went to bed at halftime because it just was not inspiring me. Carlton are a really boring team to look at. And Brisbane they're going okay. I don't think they're the Brisbane of 2024, but they're just going okay. They're just winning when they have to. That's as easy as I can put it, big fella.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agree.
What a game, Friday night, Gold Coast, Collingwood. Like, I never thought I'd see a Collingwood team not kick a goal before halftime. I think the biggest boo happened about 5 or so minutes into that third quarter when they kicked their first goal. I think the crowd were just hoping for that they would not kick one. I would love to have been a fly on the wall up there at People's First Choice Stadium, People's Bank Stadium, packed out with Collingwood supporters, and none of them could actually cheer. It would have been awesome.
It was bizarre because I don't think I watched the game. Maybe the first quarter. Anyway, I went to bed thinking, this game's done. And then to wake up early Saturday morning and to see that it was a points in it, I was amazed. What Collingwood... That last quarter must have been one of the most exhilarating last quarters of football ever played.
Mate, I watched it and it was... I said to Big Trev at halftime, because they told me to ring him in on Friday night at halftime, because it's a good time, just before the old fella goes to bed. I said, Dad, if I had money in my betting account, I'd put it on Collingwood to come back and win this. And he goes, why? I said, because you know what? They're the type of team that could do it, and I always say it, and I never do it. And when they got up by a couple of points, I've just gone, no. And they didn't. But I'm going to give Gold Coast credit where credit's due. They played scintillating football, quick football. They didn't let Collingwood come up to them. They just ran through them. You got a big target like King, you kick it to him. When you got people like Rowell and Anderson and Miller until he got injured running through the middle, you use them. Bailey Humphrey, just exceptional. They didn't have the paddle pop line down there at fullback. Sam Collins, he was out. But they were just electric. You got Noble on one side, Rioli. They're not there yet because I think that they, like Dima said, they don't know how to win these games just yet. And they don't know how to, when I say win them, when they get into a position like they were, how to go forward with it. I think they're on a bit of foreign territory. Do we keep going? Do we try and save it? I think Collingwood just the smarts. And if it went probably for another 5 minutes, Collingwood would have run away with it. But outside of that, a great game of football from a closeness perspective and from a spectacle perspective. But, I like what Gold Coast are doing at the moment. They've got that game in hand. They're pushing for top 4, Jdog. Anything can happen. I reckon it's going to... And once again, I've said it. There's just little things happening at the moment with Collingwood. Little things. Howe goes down with a bit of an injury. The first of the over 30s. We spoke about this a bit, didn't we? We said that this is going to maybe start to pinch him on the butt. Too early to say, but another week. It's not going to happen in the first half of the season. It was the back end of the season that I thought that things would start to happen. And I think that they are starting to cause a little bit of upsetiveness down there as well too. Western Bulldogs, Adelaide. Watch this game. The Doggies just didn't seem like the Doggies, if that makes sense. It was almost like the night game came into the Saturday game. Like the Collingwood that we expected, we didn't see them on the Friday. And the Doggies, Adelaide just outworked them, outran them. And when you got the man beast down there in Riley Thilthorpe, who I think, Jdog, this... Oh my God! They killed Kitty! You bastard! I've hit the wrong button. He had a good game, and they didn't play the three talls down back when they had three talls. And it's backfired big time. Absolutely big time. It's backfired. Thoughts, feelings?
I don't know. This is good. I don't know. It's a game of footy.
Dude, what is with you at the moment? Like, you just, what do you, what,
By
the way, everybody, if you don't know, the Tour de
I
France
pick
is
and
on
choose.
right now. The Tour de France is on, so Jamie might be a little bit distracted, and I get that.
Yeah, no, I am distracted.
Yeah.
But the game itself, I don't know, Peps. I watched it a little bit. I just wasn't that interested in the game. I just got no interest in that sort of stuff.
The Western Bulldogs in Adelaide. All right, let's move on to the next one. Were you interested at all in GWS versus Geelong?
Yes.
Tell us about it. Why?
The game was Cadman. Just the Cadman kid in the forward line.
Cadman?
didn't drop
You
a ball.
mean Cadman? This Cadman?
Bags, we love it when they kick 'em. Bags, it's gotta be 6 or more. Bags, we love it when they kick 'em. Ooh!
What about Riley Thilthorpe? How good was he?
Thilthorpe or
What?
Cadman?
No, Thilthorpe. Do you know what happened to Riley Thilthorpe on the weekend?
No. Another one.
Bags, we love it when they kick 'em.
All right, enough of that. Bags of 6. Loved it. But Cadman, geez, he's coming along nicely, isn't he? Just another one of... Oh. GWS. Oh,
They are coming again. Cadman has completely restructured their forward line, and I know that this might upset a couple of people.
Yep.
But Jake Stringer looked wonderful on the weekend.
Jake Stringer played the perfect Jake Stringer game for why GWS brought him on board.
I agree.
Comes on as the sub, has 9 disposals, kicks 3, and one of the marks he took was an absolute clunker. And it was just like, oh my God. Like, if we can get more of that Jakey, Cadman, Hogan, Stringer, Brown
And Green.
down there, and Green, hard to stop. And then you got the kid in the lid running around. It's going to be very, very difficult. If they can get firing, they were good. They've got Geelong's measure. Last 4, they've taken them out. You worried about Geelong at all, or is it just one of those games?
Not really. Like,
No.
I'm not an alarmist with Geelong ever. They
do
will
it.
get there. They will do prelim,
Yep.
and they'll be around there again.
Well, you were talking about Cadman. He was the 4th highest rated player over the weekend. That's how good his game was.
it was phenomenal. It was. I know I don't say this often, but Cadman reminded me of 95, 96 Kerry-esque.
He was taking some nice clunkers. And then you toss that in with the Josh Dacos. That was a move into the midfield that you go, crikey. You're tagging one, you won't tag one Dacos, and then the other one comes and absolutely sprouts it up. I like Nick. I think I like Josh more. I don't know what it is. Maybe because he's got a beard. Maybe he looks a little bit rough. Maybe he doesn't look perfect. I don't know. I like a bit of Josh Dacos.
You like the underdog, maybe.
Yeah, I like him. I just really think that he has. I think he's a better player. I think he's harder than his brother. That's my opinion. I'll stick to it.
It's not an unfair comparison, except for on the weekend.
Yeah.
But
No,
anyway,
totally get it. Hey, what about this one? Richmond versus Essendon. Richmond.
Peps, I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to tap out after the first 10 minutes of the first quarter.
Could this have been the worst game of the season?
I've tapped out.
I tapped out. I couldn't watch it. I did then flick forward to the last 10 or 15 minutes to see if Richmond could hold on, and by goodness they did. Now, can I talk about Essendon for a moment?
Love to hear you talk about Essendon.
Jdog, what in the entire time I've been doing this show, And anybody who's online right now will be able to tell you. What is my humble opinion about Essendon?
You think they're shit?
I hate them. Hate them. Cannot stand them. But, and here's the but, I actually felt for them on the weekend. I actually felt for them. When Nick Martin went down with his knee, and Caldwell went down with his foot, which may be a Liz Frank injury. I sat there and I was considering this, and I got a few of the boys, they're Essendon supporters, and I wrote to them and said, I really feel sorry for them now because that injury list that they have got is immense. I don't think I've ever seen, and I'm not talking about your players, 30s onwards. I'm talking about top 22. Half of their best 22 cannot even play at the moment. That is a wasted season. And there's got to be something done for them.
Play? What type of injury have they got? I can tell you right now what they've got.
Yeah, well, tell me about it then, Angry Pants. Go for it.
Soft tissue injuries.
Yep.
How often have Essendon had seasons curtailed because of soft tissue injuries? It happens. It has been happening for well over a decade now.
All right, let's go for this a little bit further. I've got a theory why.
Yep.
Marvel Stadium. You are literally playing on concrete. There is no give in that ground. There's no give in that ground.
Argument.
I'm not saying it's the only thing, but that's got to have something at least to maybe do with it. But whatever they're doing from a fitness perspective at that club, throw it out. Because you can't have that many injuries. Now, a knee, a Liz Frank, they're things out of your control. But people continually doing hamstrings, calves, quads, groins, over and over again, year after year, and they still have 45,000 people turn up. That's a supporter base who's got faith that the 1993 Baby Bombers will still come good. But I really felt sorry for them on the weekend.
I do have a question, Peps.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's not a question I want you to answer.
Yep.
It's more maybe for the listeners who may know this.
Yep.
Surely the AFL have gone out there with a durometer or a something softness
petrometer,
and have stuck it into the ground in both grounds and said, tick. Surely this has happened.
No.
Surely we aren't the only person in the last 25 years who's starting to question this.
Well, here's the interesting thing. They spoke about this, and I always thought that they did a ground inspection on the day. It happens about 2 days beforehand. So the AFL ticked off that Sydney cricket ground that we saw a couple of weeks ago. And they're never going to move the games because of all the commercial contracts and the commercial obligations that they need to do. So, Jdog, why do they do ground inspections in the first place?
I agree. And that Sydney one I know we didn't just show last week, but that was an exceptional circumstance. I want to know specifically about Marvel and MCG because there's no reason why Marvel should be any harder than the MCG.
Well, the Melbourne Cricket Ground has dirt underneath it. Like a good dirt.
I want to know how deep, because we talk about the concrete and the hard ground.
I reckon it's only a couple of feet. It's a couple of feet at the most, J-Dog. A couple of feet. It's just...
No, I'm calling, as the young kids would say, I'm calling cap on this. Essendon, just sort your shit out. I'm calling bullshit. When you walk, Peps, your 85 kilo frame, you are not compressing 5 feet of soil underneath you.
Oh shit!
You're compressing a foot, maybe a foot and a half under you.
So you're saying basically, when someone comes to you and starts talking about the Essendon and it could be this, you're a bit of, do not speak to me like that. Like that's, I don't want to hear it anymore. That's it. You just can get stuffed. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling cap on that.
All right, hey, Fremantle Hawthorn. Wow, now that was a cracker of a game as well too. Like Fremantle, Sam Skwitowski, I've got a feeling was the sub. Now, I would love to get the statistics on how many subs have come on and got the 10 coaches votes, because he was one of them on the weekend. Immense, Jdog. It wouldn't have happened all that often.
Yeah, not to get the 10.
A sub to
wouldn't
come
have
on and
been
get the 10, like, that is impact. And he should never start the sub ever again. He was just electric. Like, he was, the 12th highest, 11th or 12th highest ranked player on the weekend. He only got 91 Supercoach points, but that just shows how effective he was. He was just
91 and a quarter and a half.
Yeah, that's a quarter and a half. Immense. He basically won the game off his own. I won't even say his own boot. He won it off his own possession count. He won it off just everything. He was just absolutely immense. Immense.
I would say if a player does a return like that, leave him as sub. No, I would.
No,
Why not give it a couple of weeks and just see if that output continues? Because he's been played as a full game, and he's never been that effective.
Well, he went 16 possessions at 93.8, 200 metres gained, 4 inside 50, 6 contested possessions, 5 ground ball gets, 3 post clearance contested possessions, 8 handball receives, 2 intercepts, clearances, and kick 3 in a quarter and a half. Like, I know Dacos's 16 in the last quarter or something was immense, but that is out of control. Out of control. And I loved it.
Perfect.
But don't
Perfect. Do it again.
Don't get me wrong though. That Hawthorn game was just, Hawthorn did everything. And you wonder if they had a fit Will Day and a fit Mitch Lewis, would it have made a difference? I don't know. Will Day, yes. Mitch Lewis, I'm not too sure. But they're just going okay at the moment, but they are very susceptible in the way they are. Kel Shadir kicked his 3. Nick Watson kicked his 1. I still think they're so reliant on Jack Gunston still at the age that he is. So reliant on him. Mind you, he's the highest goal kicker for the year too. So,
Will Day in that team makes a huge difference.
Yeah, Will
Day is huge.
Will Day is night and day between him and the other best players at Hawthorn. Melbourne versus North Melbourne. I was there. It was a win. Just goes to show Melbourne, if you kick straight, 18 goals, 11, you can win matches. And I think the talk around it was, hope Melbourne don't get too carried away with this win. Yes, it was good to get one. It was only North Melbourne, without Wardlaw, without LDU, without Larkey. So it was a win. North Melbourne do what North Melbourne do. They played about 3 quarters and then fell away in the last. It was actually good to see Petrarca get some form. It was great to see, funnily enough, Fritsch. I was watching the game and I didn't think he was that good, but going back, he was really good. Langford on the wing, beautiful. Hey, Tommy Mack comes back in and he plays a great game as well too. Cooper Harvey kicked his 4, really nice. And Colby McKercher off halfback, really, really nice as well too. So they've got a lot of growth at North, and I think their future's looking good. But you can't go 6 seasons with 4 wins or less again.
Yep. Bullshit.
So, yeah.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yeah. If you're a supporter, how long is this team going to be developing?
The only thing that Melbourne can take out of the rest of their season is maybe 4 wins. Get to 10 wins for this season. I think that would be okay, based they lost the first 5. But they want to beat Carlton. They could win the next 4. They could beat North, beat Carlton. St Kilda at Marvel will be a really big challenge, and then West Coast at home as well. So they've definitely got some runs in the bank, but not really much to look forward to. Play the kids, get them into next year. St Kilda, Sydney. St Kilda dominated the first quarter of this, and I thought, hey, they're going to run away with it. But Sydney have been doing some Sydney things over the last couple of weeks. And who would have thought that Jake Lloyd would be virtually the leading goal kicker for them on the weekend? And once again, the great man, Brode Grundy, dominating in the ruck once again, Jdog. He's been fantastic since he left Melbourne. Yeah. He's going all right. His last 6 weeks have been immense. Really excited. Really excited by that. St Kilda,
Okay.
and so St Kilda, they should have won it, unfortunately. Sydney, look, they've got a mathematical chance, but and then Port Adelaide West Coast, your mob. I thought you're in a bit of trouble.
With the Saints game.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's literally that 1 or 2% that they miss that kick, they miss that release, they miss that handball, and it just kills them every week for St Kilda.
Yep. Yep. Frustrating. At Port Adelaide versus West Coast, mate, what happened in that first quarter? Was Kenny coaching again? Did he say, listen, no, hey, Joshy boy, I got this. And then as soon as that first quarter rang the bell, he came along, he took the reins, and at quarter time...
Oh my God! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
West Coast were killing Kenny.
Yeah, they were good. West Coast were good. They were beating us everywhere, and they put scoreboard pressure on. Still, I never felt like that we were going to lose, even though we were 25, 30 points down in the rain. I was like, no, I'm not going to lose this. And then the third quarter, we just kicked a shitload of points.
Yep.
And then we run away with the end. But, yeah, I mean, the big talking point of that game really was around Jason Horton-Francis and what's his face?
Harley Reid. Both guys
Harley
played
Reid.
really good games too.
Both are good games. And as people said, if that's going to be the next 10 years of those two going head-to-head,
Love it.
Bring
Bring it on. I feel sorry for Harley Reid. He's got absolutely no support through that midfield. He's trying to do it all himself. You slot him into a Geelong, or you slot him into a Collingwood, or a Port Adelaide, a Fremantle, where there's actually some
Not
support
Carlton.
through that
Not
middle.
Carlton.
Not Carlton. No, Essendon. He'll do an injury, but you have a solid midfield around him. He could take his game to a completely different level. I don't think we've seen the best of that kid.
what I haven't seen the most of this year,
Yep.
but why don't West Coast are picking up Liam Baker? He's playing wonderful for West Coast.
Well, they picked him. He's a WA boy, and so that's why he went back.
Yeah. But like getting him,
He's
that's great.
great pickup. But they're the players that they need to take him to the next level. I don't think McWalter's doing that bad of a job. I just don't think he has much talent to work with. But they've got to keep bringing in these kids, keep bringing in this younger talent. They're going to get in the number 1 draft pick again. Bring them in and see what you can get. Just target the Perth kids, bring them home, and almost have a Perth team. But that's what they're going to have to do.
I can't remember the guy. He's got a funny, weird name. He's got a blonde perm who plays at fullback. Big kid.
Jimby?
Yeah, Gimby, yeah.
Big unit.
Gimby. Yeah, he's great. He's
Big
great.
unit. Yeah. No, they're good. They've got stuff there. They've got stuff there. But unfortunately, they haven't got too much of the good stuff.
Wins.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Wins. Hey, buddy boy, your one for this week. Rising Star. Have a look at this. Luke Trainer. Rising Star nomination, 16 disposals, 5 marks, 5 tackles. One of the Super 6 that they brought in last year as part of the draft. Good game. Lovely. Good to see. Great win by Richmond as well, too, against Essendon. But the question is, Jdog, you're beautiful. This is the highest rated segment on the podcast right now.
Yeah. So the segment is, what would they be doing if they weren't playing football? What would their ordinary jobs be if they weren't playing footy?
Yeah. Well, Rocco Tomasi is on the chat tonight, and he's already thrown in, does Collingwood 6 points in the first quarter count as a goal? Does that get bags of 6 points? The only one Docklands tenant has won a flag since 2000. And they were them.
Bullshit.
Yep. The Bombers are hoping the Demons lose every game themselves so they get high draft picks. It doesn't matter. They could have pick 6 of Melbourne's. It's going to be like pick 37 by the concessions and the father-sons come in, so that doesn't make a difference. And Grundy is one of the elite rucks from the best gen of ruckman in history. Exactly right. He's no Max Gawn. And it's not Ruben Gimby, it's Rebecca Gibney. That's what he's saying as well, too. So lots of comments from the great man there. I already know what Luke Trainer would be doing if he wasn't.
All right.
All right.
You go.
All right. He would be working in an office, right, in a 3-piece suit as a coffee boy. He'd be the coffee boy going around working, as an example, like an internship type of thing. But you could just see him walking around and getting everybody's coffee. He's just got that, clean cut, perfect young boy who's just trying to get his way in life. And he'll do anything. He'll start at the ground levels and he'll work his way up the corporate ladder. And he's going to get everybody's chai lattes and vanilla hopscotches and Gary Coleman's and Keira Knightley's and all those sort of things, my friend. And I can see him as a nice little clean-cut coffee boy working on the 15th floor at the Rialto Towers.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
I was thinking the same. I was definitely thinking corporate Australia. I'm thinking somewhere in. I'm going to say like a retention role.
Team leader or 2IC?
I'm going to say starting.
Yeah, starting. Yep.
But he's definitely got the looks to move up the corporate ladder.
Oh yes, he's definitely going to work the corporate ladder. Definitely. He'll move up fast. He'll be up fast.
Yeah, he'll move up fast. You know who he
reminds me of? He reminds me of Vinny Pilato.
Oh, right. Okay.
But with hair.
So, for me, he has got someone in that sort of smooth talking role to either get people back on side or...
Yes.
I was going to say real estate, but it's too easy.
Nah.
So it has to be corporate and starting there, and that's where he's going to build his
he'll
career
wear crisp white shirts to work, like iron thick starched collar, but he won't have the top button done up. He'll just have it down, so he's got a bit of flair.
And you're right, every suit will be a shade of navy.
Oh, stop it! Hey, what do you reckon, peeps? I reckon corporate coffee boy. Jdog reckons an absolute retention superstar. What do you think? Yep.
Suit pants go down to the knob in your ankle, so shows a bit of leg, and then wears a brown loafer.
Ooh, what? And socks or no socks?
No socks.
So you've lost me. Does he wear sockettes?
Potentially, but that's he's running a short pant and a loafer look.
He's saying, have a bit of a look at my ankles, ladies and gents, depending on what it is. Hey, Jdog, I need to say something. Can I? We've got in the full view now.
Go at it.
All right. So on the weekend, Jack Graham was given a 4-match ban for apparently self-reporting a derogatory comment, a homophobic comment to a player. Now, I don't know what the comment was, not too sure what it is, etc., but he's been issued a 4-week ban. That's on one hand. On the other hand, over here, you've got Tristan Xerri, who caught Tom Sparrow late out of a ruck contest. Sparrow was out before he hit the ground. And at the ground, we thought, what's he done? And it looked like a swinging arm. But when they slow it down so much, you think, that's not right. 3 weeks. I thought it might have gone straight to the tribunal, but they're giving him 3 weeks. Okay, so be it. You then get Tex Walker. Tex Walker got 6 weeks for saying something derogatory at a sample game and had to apologise to the team. And, another one. You then have a Gold Coast Sun, Reece Nichols, a couple of years ago, two game ban for betting on 10 AFL games. And then Will Powell, 10 weeks for apparently something similar, which he said something to somebody, and I think he self-reported as well, I could have got wrong, and got 7 weeks for that. And then you have Willie Rioli right on social media that he is going to tell a player, just watch out, the next time you're up in Darwin, I've got mates, you might want to stay off the streets. Paraphrasing, etc. Gets a week for that, which he didn't self-report, but then he took the week off because he was mentally overwhelmed, you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck has happened to our game, Jamie? How does it
The game
go?
or the players?
The players are one thing. But what has happened to this league where you come in and you say, I've done something wrong, and I don't know what he said, so you can think off the top of your head, but it was said in the heat of the moment. You get 4 weeks for that when you actually dob yourself in. But you can smack a bloke, knock them out and get 3 weeks. You can bet on games and get a 2-week ban, which, tell me what's worse, Jdog. Betting on a game or betting on 10 games, sorry. Jaden Stevenson got a massive ban for it as well. He got, I think, 10-game ban when he got it done. But then you get Willie Rioli gets 1 week for saying something in public, which everybody could see. Has the AFL screwed the pooch on this one simply because one was of an indigenous culture and the other one wasn't? If the shoe was on the other foot and the roles were reversed, would they have got the same results? Would they have got the same bans?
I don't know about that. But I would have thought if you are self-reporting, you're putting your hand up, that you would have some sort of leniency saying I've stuffed up, and it would be I don't know what the punishment is, but it's all right, what have you done? What have you tried here? Set a poly, all that, and then you just move on, right? In the same way that we would if we stuffed up in life. We'd apologise. Obviously, we feel bad for what we would have done, but you move on, and that's the way you have to do it. This 4 week and all that is just excessive, and that I know that's my personal opinion.
But it is excessive, and this is, and I agree wholeheartedly. I want to know what he said.
I don't think it matters.
Well,
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
But Jamie, tell me, if he said this, you're a cocksucker. You know, get a hard ball, you cocksucker. Is that worth a 4-week ban?
Yeah, but once again, then we're going to start going down the grain of like, oh, what did they say?
But
and
when,
then
no, but hold on. But when did something like that become a homophobic slur? When? Well,
I'm not here to determine what is and what isn't. I'm just saying.
But the AFL are, and this is what I'm saying. They are saying that is worth 4, but you can belt a bloke around the head. And I'm not even talking about Zeri. There's been multiple that have happened throughout the year that have got less for that.
Yeah.
Less than that. Braden Maynard got less for ending Angus Brayshaw's career than what? Fucking the poor bloody bloke got, Jack Graham. It's just hypocrisy at its highest level. It is, and it just goes to show that for the number one professional sport in the country, we are so amateurly run. We are so amateur in the way that we do things.
I think there is a part for the AFL to step in when they have to step in, but I guess that's the kind of, like you said before, like that's the feel for it.
Could have been done with an I'm sorry, behind the scenes. That's it. He's got to take 4 weeks off,
but yeah,
and go to counselling for it. He's got to go to courses for it. Like
I have an issue with all of that. Like, we know right and wrong, okay? We have a pretty good moral compass. This person overstepped the mark. They feel horrible. They've self-reported it, but that's where it should end. And whatever is from there is between those two parties.
Exactly.
Not
exactly.
the AFL.
No. I don't know if you listen to the Howie games, but they've got Joe Maguire on, Eddie Maguire's son, who won the title with Ohio State. Now, I don't listen to the Howie games all that often, but I've been listening to this series that he's been doing now, where he talks about what happens at a collegiate level. These guys aren't professionals, but what they do and how they handle themselves makes our professional league look like a Mickey Mouse backyard league. They had 13 days off from the end of their season to the start of their preseason.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn up late by 1 minute, you're not allowed to do the entire session. It is so regimented in what they have to do to get to that level of professionalism. And I look at what the AFL do. The whole drugs policy is a fuss. Like, imagine trying to explain how our league works to anybody. Hey, so tell me, how does your games work? Oh, we play 24 rounds or 24 rounds. Yep. Okay. So everybody plays each other twice. No, we got 18 teams. Oh, okay then. So what? You play half. Like, everybody plays each other once, and then you sort of then play like 6. Oh, no. Not everybody plays each other once. Well, how do you determine? Well, it doesn't really work that way, because it comes down to a lot of like teams want to play other teams because they're bigger crowds because they get more money in. Oh, okay then. So, but it rotates around, doesn't, like if you play home on. No, it doesn't work that way. Oh, all right then. And where are all the games played? Oh, they're played all around the country. Oh, well, so teams play games at home, and then the next time they'll play away. Well, yes, but if you're Collingwood, you get to play literally at the MCG all the time. You don't go to the smaller grounds. Oh, why is that? They're not allowed to because of their supporters or whatever. No. Oh, no, they're just too big of a club to go to the smaller grounds. They send North Melbourne and St Kilda and all the interstate ones down there. Okay, that doesn't really make much sense whatsoever. All right. Another question I have to ask. So your drug policy, do you have a drug policy? Yeah, well, we got a very, very strong drug policy. Oh, like ours in the US? Yeah, really strong. Okay, so if you get caught taking illegal drugs, you're banned? No, yeah? Well, actually, no. What do you mean? Well, you can actually self-report. What do you mean self-report? Well, you sort of get caught, but you don't get in trouble because you put your hand up and go, I made a bit of a boo-boo. And they go, okay. And you're allowed to get off with it. You mean, so you can do something illegal and the league go, that's okay? Yeah, because it's all to do with mental health these days. Okay. So when you play your games, we play them all. The majority of our big games are played at night. Wow, night, that'd be awesome. What about the biggest game of the year? Would you have a final? Yeah, we have a grand final. Oh, what time is that game on at night? Oh, no, we play that one during the day. Why? Because it's tradition. But didn't you play all the other finals at night? Yeah, but we changed that because we get the bigger crowds at night. And they love it on TV. Does that mean more people watch the game? Yeah. So then why don't you play the game at night for the grand final? It's tradition. Like, it just defies me, the stupidity of our league, Jdog. So, what happens if you finish last? Oh, yeah, you get the number 1 draft pick. Wow, that's awesome. So you get the best player in the league. Well, not really, because if you've got a Northern Academy over up here and you might have another academy, and then you've got these things called fathers' sons, depending on how all that works, the best, you might get maybe the 8th best kid in the league. But you finish last, don't you get the first pick? Yeah, we get the first pick, but all these other clubs get to go before us. Look, it's just stupidity. Can I take it one step further?
Sure.
Sam Newman did a podcast with Trent Cotchin this week. And if you get a chance to listen to it, Sam Newman, a little bit like Donald Trump, very, very opinionated. You either love him or you hate him. Or as my family have said, you either hate him or you really, really hate him. And he asked Trent Cotchin, what do you think about football these days? And he goes, well, Sam, what do you think? He goes, do you really want me to say? He's like, yeah. He goes, the AFL will come out and tell you that the game is never in a better spot. We've got the highest TV ratings. We've got the most attended sport in the world. We've got really close games, etc. And that might be true. But if you actually sit back and look at the fabric of our game and what it was designed to do and how it was written up and how it should be played, It is an absolute shambles. It is nothing like it was when it first came into fruition. And he started running through some things. He goes, I'll say it to you. Jamie, tell me, what is the purpose of the goal square these days? What is the purpose of the centre square these days?
Mm-hmm.
What is the purpose of that line that goes across in the centre circle? So these are all being put into place to, restrict people being able to do things and making it harder to either defend or attack. And they just get rid of it all. They just get rid of everything. It makes no sense why they do that. The stand rule, what's that for? You can't, if you're not good enough to get off the mark or do something. And he goes, and the problem is the coaches, they're the ones who are controlling the game because they don't want to win. They don't want to score. When's a coach going to have the balls to put somebody, 2 players at centre half forward and go, I'm going to stay down here and I want my players to kick it to him on a one-on-one. Just kick it to them on a one-on-one. But they have to do this chippy around. Nobody wants to see that. But unfortunately, that's how the game is being played. And it's nothing like it should be. And Jamie's even dropped out. So I know I've gone on a bit of a rant there, but the AFL think that this game is in a great spot. Off field, they've got their challenges. On field, they've got these challenges. Andrew Dillon, I don't rate him. And I think that the commission have also come to the conclusion that there are massive challenges because they've had to bring in Jeff Walsh. They've brought in Tom Harley. They've moved the lady that was looking after it. I've forgotten her name. It was
Laura Kane.
Yeah, Laura Kane's been moved down or, reallocated. They've got problems at the league. And they have to be sorted out. Otherwise, yes, people will still keep going to games. Yes, people will still pay their memberships. And yes, they'll still watch them on TV. But the quality and what they're seeing, I'd say they're getting ripped off.
That's fair. But
Shit, that's hot.
I still think take all that away. Take away our eyes that have been watching this game now for a very long time. You played the game like deep into many hundreds of games. Take it away. If you were to look at our season and go, we've got 6 in the top 8 who are essentially all in the same position. One game here or there can make a huge difference, and a team getting a run. It's probably never been more exciting.
We said this last year.
I know that, but in terms of like what Sam's talking about, back in the 80s and the 70s, and there were teams that were outright dominating the season, and they were clear premiership winners.
I know.
From round 5.
I get that. But Jamie, you would have games that were 130 to 156. Like there was just goals being kicked and the ball was free flowing. And he also said there's accidents in football. Things happen. People collide with each other. Tristan Xerri's a perfect example of that. He didn't swing his arm to knock him out. He was swinging to... I honestly believe he was swinging to hit the ball, right? Things happen, but they have to categorize and put it into pigeonholes all the time. And it's... there's no breathing room for if something goes wrong. I hope that changes next year. They have to always be seen to be doing something.
To be completely frank,
Yep.
If we're being completely honest here in terms of like our football belief, I think that there are too many teams, too many games every week.
Yep.
I actually, and I know that you and I hated it, but those bye rounds, when it was 6 games or 5 games,
Yep.
that actually gave the game time to breathe. Like as a watcher of them, I found that I could actually probably watch the game a bit more as opposed to having 9 games and having to choose double up Fridays or a double up Saturday.
Yeah. No, look, there's definitely some merit in that. And they're bringing in another team, and there'll be a 20th team. And I think things are going to change where I reckon they'll go to 20 teams. They'll split it into 2 conferences, stuff that you've been speaking about for a long, long time, Jdog. They'll split it into conferences. You'll play everybody once in that. You'll play everybody twice in that conference. The best thing that they could do is you play everybody once, which gets 17 games or 18 games, and then you play two extra games potentially, whether it's a rivalry round or whether it's I don't know, figure something out.
No, but you're right though, because I watched a YouTube video the other week. I can't remember what it was exactly, but the way that our draw is currently set up, it manipulates every award that is available in our league, in our sport. It affects your Coleman, it affects your Brownlows, it affects everything. Because if you play a shit team twice, you could kick 10 on them or 7 on them. You've got 14 goals there.
Well, we spoke about this when Charlie Kerner, a couple of years ago, kicked 19 goals against North. He kicked a 10 and a 9.
That might have been the video I watched which linked about that particular
It might have been us saying it, but it's like he kicks 19 goals and another guy can only kick 9 once. He gets 10 extra. He's still going to kick them, but he gets 10 extra. Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Same as Brownlow. You play a shit team twice, you're a midfielder, you dominate, you've got extra
3 bonus votes. 3 bonus votes. 3 bonus votes.
Everything. It affects everything.
Well, the other one that they came up with was, do you play the teams the first time you play a team it's worth 4 points, and the next time you play them it's worth 2?
Yeah, that gets complicated for me.
No. The bean counters can fix that out. But no, we haven't got the answers for it. But I just thought that after that on the weekend, when I heard he got 4 weeks for that, and so many other things have either been thrown out or they've been swept under the carpet, I go, this league is just becoming more and more amateur. They're becoming woke. I think we're really hardcores are really getting frustrated with it. I know some people couldn't care less, but it annoys me that there's no transparency.
It's not woke. I mean,
it is woke, Jdog.
No. The term woke is it's trying to lift it up to community expectations. But I even think in corporate Australia, you would get sat down with a HR, you'd be asked to apologise, you'd be given a warning, and you move on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is not corporate Australia, where you're running around and smashing into each other for 120 minutes.
You get 4 weeks missed out, match payments missed out.
Yeah, it might be a corporate structure running it, but it is not a corporate world out on the field, and you can't treat it as one. Hey, big boy, we've got some big games coming up this week. It's going to be a belter. Can you believe we're in round 19 already? We've only got, I think, another 5 or 6 games to go until the finals start. We get a week off, and then we get to look into the finals. I know we love finals time because both our teams will not be there for the first time. Well, your team, but my team won't be there again for the second year running. So I've got lots to talk about and lots to experience. Hey, look at this. Essendon getting another Thursday night game. Can't wait for that one. See, another stupid thing with this bloody draw. Essendon.
Yeah,
Essendon GWS. Essendon GWS. GWS by 70. Easy. Brisbane Western Bulldogs. That's a Thursday. That's a Friday night game. Ooh, that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one we can chat over. I still think Brisbane will win that one. Hawthorn Port Adelaide. Jdog got Utah Saints.
Yeah, Port have officially put the Q on the rack with Jason Horne-Francis as an injury, and we will be taking our third team down there.
Fantastic. Sydney North Melbourne. That pretty much works itself. Carlton and Melbourne, 7:35. You want to come to that game with me on Saturday night?
Saturday night, nope.
Okay.
I can think of a more depressing game to go to. West Coast, North Melbourne? Probably.
That'd probably be actually close. It'd be like, Drive to Survive. The ones down the back. It'd be like El Toro and Alpine against each other. Carlton versus Melbourne. I'm going with my boys, but with no confidence whatsoever. West Coast versus Richmond. Oh, this will be good. I reckon West Coast will win this one. I reckon West Coast at home are not that bad. Geelong versus St Kilda at G Mahaba Stadium. They'll win that, Geelong. Collingwood versus Fremantle at the G on Sunday. Do I go to that? Do I go to that,
You
Jamie?
can. You can just go to anything.
I can go to anything. I can go to that. That might be a call. I think Collingwood will win that one. And Adelaide Gold Coast. The graveyard shift is the best shift of the weekend. Adelaide Gold. That is going to be a barnstormer. We might even do a live chat on that one. I reckon that'll be a corker. Adelaide only because it's at home. Yep. Love it. So, pretty easy games this week, I must say. Oh, Chatsy, the Daru boys joined on. Old mate Sparrow went down like a sparrow's fart. I saw 18 sparrows go down faster than a sparrow's fart after three-quarter time, and they were wearing white and blue jumpers, and they were called North Melbourne as the D's smashed them. But that doesn't matter, because that's the round 18 review for a massive round of football. Hey, special shout-out Timmy Scott. Happy 50th birthday, superstar. Known him since kindergarten. Absolute gun of a bloke. And that's another episode down in the books. I reckon it's episode 400 plus, Jdog. Look, that's how long we've been around for. It's good to see that you've got your eyes closed. Everybody watching this right now would know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, they're just awake. Just awake. Big boy, big weekend of footy. How's the Tour de France going?
It's almost over.
Yeah,
it's okay though.
You've been watching it though?
6-minute highlight, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You've changed. You've matured in your old age.
Changed.
We'll see you back here. I might have my tips. I might have my tips. You just have to watch YouTube and soon find out. But more importantly, I'm Chris Pepper, the great man Jamie the Jdog Wallace, and to wrap it up with our famous final quote of the night, Jdog, how do you want your footy?
Lace out.
And so do I. Have a great night, listeners, and see you later.